Hi, my name is Kyla and welcome to A Divine Storytime. I named my channel A Divine Storytime because I believe that everyone has their own divinely and uniquely created story, and whenever I create a video, I'm sharing a part of my story with you all. This is a lifestyle channel, so it could include just about anything, but my primary focus is food, faith, and fragrance related content. So if that sounds like something you'd be interested in, keep on watching, of course, but go ahead and hit that subscribe button and the notification bell right now so you never miss any of my uploads. So since this is my very first video, you don't know me yet, and I love fragrances, I thought this would be a great opportunity to do a sort of fragrance tag slash get to know me tag. Now, I know that I was not tagged in any fragrance tags, obviously because I'm new, but I did take a few of the questions that I liked most from all of the fragrance tags that I've watched, and I put some of those questions together so that hopefully you can kind of get to know who I am via my fragrance collection. I'm gonna go ahead and get started. Now, if you see me looking down, it's because I have my list of questions right here. I also have my phone with Fragrantica pulled up. If you're not familiar with Fragrantica, it is an awesome resource for those who love fragrances. There are the notes, the accords, the nose behind the fragrance or the perfumer. There are information about the sillage and projection of a fragrance, what the fragrance is similar to, or what you would like if you like this particular fragrance, as well as thousands and thousands of opinions about the fragrances. So if you're into that type of thing and you really want to know about the notes of a fragrance before you purchase, which I highly suggest, you should check out fragrantica.com. Though this is not sponsored, I just really like the website as a resource. So if you see me looking down, that's why. I am not going to go over every single note in every fragrance that I have here because we would be here all day, and I'm not trying to make this a long-winded video. So I'm just going to tell you a few of the accords that I pull out the most from each fragrance that I talk about. The first question is, what is the newest fragrance in your collection? So the newest fragrance in my collection actually just came today, and I'm so excited because I love it so much. It's actually also my fragrance of the day, and it is Belle Intensement. I think that's how they pronounce it. Some people say Intensement. I've heard people say Intensement. But this is it. This is the 1.7 fluid ounce. The main accords that I get out of this fragrance is vanilla, powdery, sweet, and fruity. This one has a prominent raspberry note. You can kind of smell the pink pepper in this, and I get a lot of vanilla and sandalwood. I do own one of the other Belle flankers. I have the Edition Limitée, which is very similar to the original, except the patchouli is a little died down. So I am familiar with the way that Belle smells, like that undertone that it has, and Intensement to me does not have that at all. To me, this reminds me a lot of La Nuit Trésor à la Folie, if you're familiar with that. And if you are, and you're wondering if you should get Intensement when you already have à la Folie, I would say that they are different enough to own both. I would say that if I had to categorize the two, this one is more of the daytime, a little bit more fun and flirty, whereas à la Folie to me is more of a nighttime. The bourbon vanilla in that one makes it a little bit darker and more date night sexy appropriate to me if I'm comparing the two together. So again, this is the newest one in my collection, Belle Intensement. So the next question in my tag is the oldest fragrance in my collection. And the oldest fragrance in my collection is Aqua de Joya by Giorgio Armani. Aqua de Joya by Giorgio Armani. This is not necessarily the oldest as in age in my collection, but this is the oldest fragrance that I've owned. So I've had this particular fragrance in my collection since about 2009 or so. So I've been wearing this fragrance consistently, usually during the summer, since 2009. This is like one of my first, well not the first, but one of my first big girl purchases in fragrance. I got this, and I got Intensement de Duende. I don't know if y'all are familiar with that fragrance. You cannot find it anymore without paying a grip for it, but those two were the first two fragrances that I ever purchased with my own money that smell like grown women fragrances. This is just a fresh, aquatic, clean smelling scent. This has a note of brown sugar in it, which I didn't realize until recently, that I really like, and I feel like kind of smooths the fragrance out. I love this fragrance. This is one of those fragrances that will forever be a part of my collection. Again, that is Aqua de Joya by Giorgio Armani. So the next one is what is my favorite easy reach fragrance. So this one was really hard for me because I have about 3 different fragrances I could have chose from, but I decided to go with the one that I wear the most often, and that is another Giorgio Armani scent. This is CFiore by Giorgio Armani. I love this scent so much. It is very easygoing, sweet, hyper feminine in my opinion. It smells to me like the color pink should smell. A very vanilla fruity scent, and the main accords that I pull out are actually vanilla, fruity, and powdery. Those are the accords that I pull out the most in this fragrance. Like I said, very beautiful, powdery, sweet, feminine, fun type of fragrance. I wouldn't necessarily even call this like flirty or anything like that. I would say that this is like a fun girl, casual type of scent, or even like a brunch day scent type of scent. My most comforting scent. This one was very easy for me. I've been wearing this scent almost every day since I got it. Mainly at night after I take a shower and I just want to feel like really cozy and comfortable and soothed, and I feel like this fragrance really does that for me, and it is Narciso Rodriguez Poudree. How do I describe it? Okay, so I'm not a patchouli fan at all, but you can smell the patchouli in this, but it's like a sweet patchouli, not a dirty patchouli. I smell the tonka bean and the musk the most in this fragrance. The accords that I smell the most is musky, white floral, and vanilla. This is one of the most comforting scents ever to me. This is a beautiful scent, and whenever I wear this after I take a shower and I spray it on, I feel clean and crisp and feminine and beautiful. And I wouldn't really say warm. It doesn't give me like a warm vibe, like that type of cozy. It just gives me a very like comforting vibe, almost like a nice, like soft hug type of feeling whenever I wear it. Like this one actually initiates a physical reaction in me when I put it on. I just feel like I'm being comforted. The next one is my favorite celebrity scent. Now I think a lot of the times when people think of celebrity scents, their mind instantly goes to like Britney Spears or Rihanna or Jessica Simpson, which I have some of those in my collection as well, but my most favorite celebrity scent is by Kim Kardashian West Fragrances, and it is Crystal Violet Musk. This is my second one. I ran through the first one quick, and I actually have another backup. Whenever I can get it, I try to get it because it's not always on their site. But this is a beautiful vanilla, lavender and tonka bean scent, heavy on the tonka bean. And the lavender in this is not that medicinal essential oil type of lavender, which I'm really familiar with because I'm huge about essential oils in the home and on the body. I'll do another video on that pretty soon too. But this doesn't have like a medicinal type of lavender scent. It reminds me of lavender vanilla ice cream, if you've ever had that before. Just that really smooth and creamy, almost fluffy type of lavender. If you think of like lavender marshmallows, that's like the type of vibe I get from this scent. I love this scent. This is Crystal Violet Musk by Kim Kardashian West Fragrances. A big believer that you can wear whatever you want to wear, whenever you want to wear it, whether it be seasonal or whether it be time of day, whether it be certain events. Wear what makes you feel good, wear what makes you feel beautiful, sexy, however you want to feel. Wear the thing that makes you feel like that. However, if I had to choose certain fragrances for certain seasons, these are the ones that I would choose. So, for my favorite spring or summer scents, I have to go with Chant d'Extase by Nina Ricci. I do not see many people talk about this fragrance on YouTube. Now, I have seen people talk about Rose Extase. I've seen people talk about, I think is L'Extase Rose Absolute. I think I've seen a few videos on L'Extase, but I don't see many videos about this one. I think I may have seen one other video about Chant d'Extase. This is a beautiful aquatic caramel scent. When I smell this, I instantly think this has to be what a mermaid smells like. It is I love this scent. It has a sea note. I think it has ambergris, and it has caramel as well as jasmine. Those are the notes that I pick out the most. When you first spray this, you get that blast of like a citrus. I don't remember what citrus it is. I want to say it might be orange. I don't want to be wrong. And you get the jasmine. The jasmine in this is beautiful. And then you get that creamy caramel and jasmine mixed together on the dry down. This is the sexiest aquatic scent I have personally ever smelled. I am, like I said, a lover of Aqua de Joya, but this has quickly and easily taken the place of Aqua de Joya. I think about like candlelit dinner date on the beach with your significant other at night. There's a bonfire around. That's the type of vibe I get from this. This is sexy to me. And it is limited edition. So as fast as I went through it, y'all can kind of see the level on here. I got it in the springtime and I wore it all spring and summer this year. Even just around the house, because y'all know how COVID was. We couldn't really go anywhere. But I got a backup bottle because it's limited edition and I didn't know if they were going to just stop having it on the site. Consider this an aquatic gourmand. I might have just made that up, but that's what I consider this to be, an aquatic gourmand. I don't think it's quite gourmandy enough for me in the fall and winter, but spring and summer, this is to me one of the most perfect spring, summer, really summertime gourmands that I have tried yet. Again, that is Chant d'Extase by Nina Ricci. And just look at the bottle. The bottle itself is gorgeous. So the next one is my favorite fall winter scent. Now this scent from me, I have literally worn at least once or twice a week all winter long. I think this fragrance is the most beautiful when it's cold. I personally cannot wear this when it's warm outside. Where I'm from, it gets really humid and this scent can be very headache inducing to me, and that is Jessica Simpson Fancy. This is one of the most inexpensive fragrances in my collection, and it is one of the most beautiful fragrances in my collection. What I get the most out of this one is the apricot and the caramel. I do get a salty note in this on my skin. When I smell it on myself, it has kind of like this salty undertone, not salty like popcorn salty. because I know some fragrances have like a popcorn note. Not that type of salty, not even like a kettle corn type of salty. It just has like this saltiness to it. I don't know how to explain it. Maybe it's from the almond note in here, because there is an almond note in this. This is a quality celebrity scent in my opinion. Projects like a beast. Sillage is a beast. It lasts beastly hours. I get at least 8 hours on my skin with this fragrance. Those of you who have this scent, you already know how good this scent is. But again, this is Jessica Simpson Fancy, and this has been my favorite this fall winter. So this next scent is my favorite all year round scent. Now for me, the key to this scent, for me personally, is I like to wear a vanilla scented body cream underneath it, because I feel like it pulls in and brings out the whipped cream note that's already in the scent. And the scent that I'm talking about is Tom Ford Orchid Soleil. There is a whipped cream, a chestnut, lily, and orchid note in this fragrance. To me, it smells like a candied lily with whipped cream on top. This has a very strong lily note. I love lilies. Lilies and orchids are my two favorite flowers. Now, while I have no idea what orchid smells like, because all the orchids I've ever owned, and I've owned many orchids in my lifetime, they don't have a scent. So I don't know if there's like this synthetic or made up orchid scents that there is out there, and I've just never smelled it, so I can't recognize it in this fragrance or what. But I smell mainly lily in this fragrance, lily and tuberose. I do get the creaminess of the whipped cream, and I get a little hint of nuttiness from the chestnut in this, and it is beautiful. This is one of those scents that I feel like you can wear on a date night. You can wear to brunch with the girl. If I'm going somewhere and I'm gonna put on some nice clothes and try to get myself, you know, pull myself together, like really together, then I'm definitely gonna pull out this fragrance, no matter what time of year it is. I think it is just so beautiful. Next choice, and it is my love at first sniff scent. The day that this came in the mail, I was out grocery shopping, and I stopped at Walgreens, and I looked at my phone and I saw that it had been delivered, and I was passing by Walgreens little fragrance area, and I saw that it had a little bitty sample size of it, and I'm like, maybe I need to just stop and smell it, because I had the opportunity to smell it. Now, granted, Walgreens is literally 5 minutes, not even 5 minutes from my house. It's literally the next corner from where I stay. And I easily could have waited until I got home, but I was like, no, I need to smell this right now. I need to smell it right now. And this is, it's sitting outside of my house. It's already delivered. But anyways, I went and got the person in a Walgreens. I waited about 10 minutes for her to come open the case, which all that time I could have just went home and smelled it for myself, right? So she opens it up and she's like, is this the one you want to smell? I've heard so many things about it. Just give me the fragrance. I want to smell it. So I sprayed it in the air, and I about passed out. It smells so good. I was like, oh my God, I love this scent. And then I just sprayed it all over myself. And this scent is Sophia by Sofia Vergara. First of all, let's take a second and look at the dent in the bottle. I'm not playing around. It's almost halfway gone. The only reason it's not more of this gone in this bottle is because since I got this, I have obviously purchased and tried other fragrances. But this thing right here is my ride or die fragrance. To be honest, I actually could have used this fragrance in a bunch of other questions that I've already answered with other fragrances, like easy reach, year round, probably a couple other questions that I've answered with other fragrances. I could easily insert this fragrance into that spot. The notes that I get the most in this are, I think it's plum is in this. I want to say plum and blackcurrant are both in here, but I get the plum note on me the most. I believe there's sandalwood in this. Those are the two notes that I pull out the most. It's MJ described it as being juicy and kind of having like a clean vibe to it, and that's definitely the vibe that I get with this scent. Any time of day, any time of year, any temperature, any occasion, this is beautiful. I've actually forgotten the question that I said that this belongs to. Oh, love at first sniff. Yeah, and it was a love at first sniff. But this scent is so beautiful and it's so inexpensive. It's the most I've seen it is like $23. If you have a Stein Mart near you, I know it's at Stein Mart. If you don't want to wait for it to come through the mail, if I had known it was at Stein Mart prior to getting it online, I would have just went to Stein Mart and picked it up. I want to say it might cost a little bit more there though. But this is one of the most beautiful scents to me that I own, and one of the most easygoing, sexy, feminine, womanly. This is a womanly scent. This isn't a girly, flirty scent. This is a woman. This is a grown woman scent. Fragrance that I hate the most or my least favorite notes. So I don't own any fragrances that I hate. I may have fragrances that I don't really wear or that I plan to declutter. Stay tuned for that video. But I don't have any fragrances that I hate. However, I do have a note that I hate most of the time. I don't always hate this note in fragrances. I have fragrances with this note in it. But it has to be done a certain way, and that note is patchouli. I don't like patchouli. I know a lot of people love patchouli. If you love patchouli, more power to you. I actually like patchouli essential oil. I just do not like patchouli in most fragrances. But it has to be done a certain way, and patchouli, I don't like patchouli, y'all. It has to be done a certain way. I don't like dirty patchouli. It has to be a smooth patchouli that is meant to round the fragrance out, or to ground the fragrance and give it some depth and longevity. It can't be one of those patchoulis that just sticks out. So the next one is my favorite note in fragrance, and my favorite note was actually a toss up between two. It's either raspberry or blackcurrant. I really like when raspberry is in the opening. I feel that it gives it like a brightness and like a slight tartness while still keeping it sweet and kind of juicy, that some other fruits don't necessarily give. Like, I really like bergamot, but bergamot is more of a fresh, crisp, bright citrus that doesn't have as much sweetness to it, whereas I feel like raspberry is a great combination of sweetness and brightness that it gives certain fragrances. Blackcurrant, I feel like, just gives fragrance more of a fruity depth to it than a lot of other fruity notes like orange or peach and notes like that. While I love those notes, I feel like the blackcurrant gives it more of a darker feel to it than those other fruits do. Okay, so this question is very near and dear to my heart, and when I first heard it on a fragrance tag, I was like, I like that question because it got me to thinking about other things I want to discuss on this channel, like how fragrances are associated to memories, and the psychology of fragrance provoke a positive or a negative response, or even responses to you physically. Like, some people smell things and they start feeling sick, or some people smell things and it just immediately lifts their mood or makes them happy. And so this particular fragrance, the memory association with it is a very, very positive memory association, and it almost reminds me of how my love for fragrance began. So the scent that I'm talking about is Givenchy Organza Indecence. This is an original bottle from the 90s, so I don't remember exactly what year this was created, but this is one of the original bottles. Not much of it is gone. It belonged to my mom, and she gave it to me earlier this year. First of all, admire how beautiful this bottle is. It is like the silhouette of a woman. It looks very royal. It's just so pretty to me. But this was her perfume that she wore. I want to say she was probably around my age at the time. And when I smell this fragrance, I have so many memories of watching my mom as a little girl get dressed up. She would put these big old curls in her hair, and she would pull her fingers through her hair, and then, you know how they wore those big curls in the 90s, kind of like, if you think about like Nia Long, maybe not Nia Long. Well, when Nia Long, I think she had long hair at one point. Wait, one of those girls in the 90s, they had that big, curly, kind of fluffy hair. And she used to wear red lipstick, and I remember she used to go to like hair shows and like do different things with her friends, but she would get all dressed up. And I remember this scent, and I remember her wearing Opium, the original Opium. It was either one of those two that she would have on, and those scents are so distinct in my mind because of that association. And so she gave me this bottle because I kept looking at it, kept asking her about it, and she was like, girl, go ahead and take it, because she doesn't really wear it anymore. But when I think about this scent, I just think about how she encouraged me. If you hear, like, my dog is eating in the background, so if y'all hear him eating, he's eating so loud. He's eating so loud. I'm sorry in advance, but anyways, he is eating so loud. When I smell this scent, I think about how she encouraged my love for fragrances. How she encouraged my love for fragrances, and how she initially got me into fragrances, because my mom was always smelling good all the time. Now, when I think about me, when I think about this fragrance though, I saw a couple people talk about this fragrance. I cannot think about one of the YouTubers. If I think of her name, I will put it in the description box, but I know one in particular. Well, I'll tell you what the first person said. She said that this reminded her of the smell of like powdered donuts, and I really cannot think of a better description for the scent of this. I would say that it is the most decadent. This is not powdered donuts that you, like regular old powdered donuts you get from the grocery store in the little blue bag. This is like you went to the most fancy bakery you can think of, and you got the most decadent powdered donuts that they make with like all the best ingredients, all the best vanilla that you can put in it. Like, that's what I think of when I smell this scent. If I'm gonna think about this is a sexy powdered donut, okay? Now, powdered donuts might not be sexy, but you could be sexy eating a powdered donut, and that's what I think about when I smell this, okay? There was another YouTuber too. Her name is Anna Absolute. I love her channel. Her personality is so fun to me. She described this, and this is the type of vibe I get from this scent. She described this as a scent you would wear if you are about to enter into the red room that they talk about on 50 Shades of Grey. Yeah, I really love this scent, and overall this scent just gives me so many memories of, I know I said all that and then I'm going back to my mom. Oh my god. It just gives me memories of the type of scents that she used to wear. Okay, so I've reached my second to last question. If you're still stuck around, thank you for sticking around. I really hope this doesn't turn out to be a long-winded video. I am long-winded, or rather I can be. The next one is a question that I just made up, and it is, what scent reminds you most of where you're from? Okay, so first of all, let me tell you where I'm from. I'm from New Orleans, okay? So when I think about New Orleans, I don't think about the things that I think a lot of people who aren't from here, or even those who are from here, think of, which might be like Mardi Gras, Bourbon Street, the ability to walk around with alcohol, partying. I instantly think of the French style of buildings. I think about the beautiful, underrated or appreciated little restaurants with the most beautifully plated and delicious foods. I think about a very romantic date on the horse-drawn carriages and a candlelight dinner outside one of those little French restaurants. It's just so intimate because the city is so small, and it's just like an experience that you won't get in many other places outside of maybe going somewhere like maybe France. And I've never gone. I would love to go to Paris one day, but when I think about the aspects of New Orleans that takes my mind somewhere else, this is the fragrance that I immediately think of, and it is Nina Ricci L'Extase. This is a beautiful raspberry, rose, and caramel. That is what I pick up the most in this scent. This is one of the prettiest rose scents I have ever smelled. I am not a rose fan. I have fragrances of rose in it, but for me the rose has to be so muted that I very like I don't smell it very much. Whereas this one is very rose heavy, but the rose is so pretty and it's so perfectly blended with the raspberry, and the caramel in it just makes this scent so sexy. Like, this to me is a very dark and sexy scent. This is a date night scent to me. This is a bedroom vibe type of scent to me. So this is a scent that I would wear if I were going to a candlelit dinner at a cute little French restaurant in New Orleans. This is what comes to mind when I think of my city, and when I think of this, the sexiness that there is here that people don't really talk about, or maybe some people never really experience. Okay, last but not least, my final question that is gonna just wrap up this video is, what is my favorite fragrance in my collection? You probably have already guessed it. I've already talked about it. It is the scent, like I said, I could go on and on and on again about, and I'm not gonna go on and on and on about again. To me, it is me in a bottle. If I had to give up all the fragrances in my collection, which I think would be really, really hard because I do not like smelling the same. I literally will get annoyed by a fragrance if I smell it on myself every single day, which is why I could never have a signature scent. But if I had to have just one scent to wear, it would be, of course, Sophia by Sofia Vergara. Alright, so that was it. That is all. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed making it. I didn't expect to enjoy recording this as much as I did, but I just learned a couple of things about myself recording this video and looking at these fragrances that I love so much. I would also really love to know in the comment section, what fragrance would you keep in your collection if you could only keep one fragrance, what fragrance would it be? Again, I want to thank you all for watching this video, taking the time out of your day or night or whenever you're watching it to watch. My little furry friend wanted to say hi since you could hear him eating throughout one of my questions. Say hello. But anyways, please subscribe, like I said, to this channel if this video was at all interesting to you. I can't wait to upload more. Hit the notification bell so you never miss those uploads. Be blessed, be the light, and I will see you again in the next video. Bye.